Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining today this World FIRA 2024 press conference. Thank you very much for being here today. Good morning for some of them, some of you, and good afternoon for the other ones. And for some of them, good nights, because we have one of our speaker who is in Japan right now. So we have the whole world here during this press conference. So there are people, journalists coming from Portugal, Spain, Italy, more in the north of Europe from Netherlands, Germany, the UK, Switzerland, Poland, Turkey, everywhere in the world, and even from the US and India. So thank you so much for being here. And I know some time zones are not very easy, but thank you for being here now today. So let me introduce myself. I am Gwendoline Legrand. I'm the co-director of GoFar. GoFar is the non-profit organization that is organizing the FIRA events, both World FIRA in France and FIRA USA in California, USA. If you don't mind, if it's not done yet, if you don't mind to turn off your mic and cameras, and then you will be able to join for the Q&A session after the presentation. Let's now hear our two other speakers today, Marie-Flore Doutrelot and Roland Lenain. Marie-Flore, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Marie. I'm working for Kuma Network. I'm an agricultural machinery project manager. So just maybe a few words about our organization. So Akuma is a cooperative created by and for farmers to pool resources as machinery, but not only, also labor, sheds or workshops. So it's basically a group of farmers, so minimum 4, no maximum, and on average, in France, there are 23 members per Kuma who decide to buy and share machinery together. So, for example, a tractor or harvesting machine or any kind of equipment to reduce the cost of the mechanization. So I'm part of the FIRA team and I'm in charge of the demo organization.
Thank you, Marie-Flore. Roland?
And thank you. My name is Roland Lenain, so I am research director at INRAE, which is a French National Research Institute for Agriculture, Food and Environment. And I am leading a research team in the framework of robotics for agroecology. I am also the vice president of the GoFar Association in charge of scientific contents. And I'm there to give you some overview about scientific logs in robotics for agriculture and to present the scientific work. Thank you, Gwen.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you for being here because you're live from Japan. It's midnight right now, right?
Yes, I am already Friday.
Thank you so much. So this presentation will last for 45 minutes, hopefully, and we will follow by 15 minutes for Q&A afterwards. After the presentation, we'll also send you the press kit and some high-resolution pictures if needed. So let me share my screen to start the presentation right now. Okay. Here. Okay, I think you can see my screen, right? Okay, so this is the press conference from the 8th edition of World FIRA that will be held on February 6 to 8, 2024 in Toulouse, south of France. The exact name of the town is Ozeville-Tolosane, and the right location is called Agrobiopole. We'll talk about it later. Just for you to know also, and in case you have it in your record, we changed our website address. So it is now world.fira-fira.com. First of all, we wanted to start with an overview of the agrobotics market and trends. So we put on a few sources that you will be able to find on the web too, maybe to highlight the context of agrobotics in the world. Obviously, I don't have the exact figures from each country you're representing, but I am sure that these figures exist and that we can find out with the different sources from your own country, what are the key figures. Just for you to see that the average growth rate through the years between 23 and 28 is expected to be over 20% growth per year in terms of forecast USD. Means that we will reach an average growth, growth of 24.3% per year in the next 5 years. What is also interesting in the figures on your right is the part of each market. You can see that the market is really important on the North America and in Europe. Third comes Asia too. Weeding is the most automated activity so far, but we can see year after year, and at FIRA, it's very, very obvious that there are so many new robots that are coming, that are collecting data, that are picking fruits, picking also cotton, that are picking many different things, and also for harvesting, for seeding. So weeding was the first, let's say, function that has been automated in the fields, but the other are coming very, very fast too. I wanted to show you also this landscape that has been realized by the mixing bowl and the vine in the US. It's very interesting because on this landscape, you can see the main players, the main manufacturers of the agrobotics industry, depending on the functions and on the crop types. So it means that you can see, and even from your own country, what are the key manufacturers that are developing different type of robots or autonomous systems. So I really advise you to have a deeper look once you will receive this this presentation at this landscape. The market size for autonomous outdoor robots is now reaching $150 million in 2022. We can see the key growth factors that are three main reasons why we can see this development. First, the R&D investment that are growing a lot. Also the product innovations and the increased consumer awareness of the benefits of robotics. We also have our own sources to highlight the number of units in service per manufacturer. So this is not a complete list. Of course, these are based on our FIRA USA and World FIRA information sheets that we are getting from the manufacturers. And so we can put all together the number of units per manufacturer on this landscape too. Now, Roland will present us the logs to be lifted.
Yes, I will try to do it. I'm sorry for advance for my bad English and the fact that I am a bit tired. Yes, we have seen that there is more and more robotics in agriculture. Most of them are developed in order to automate existing works, but maybe there is still a lot of challenges, and maybe one of the most scientific logs that is still waiting for robotics is how we use robots to make agroecological transition. That is to say, find new practices using agroecology, so mixing different kind of species in the same place. And then how we can discriminate these different species in order to treat each plant uniquely. And then it's quite challenging because it means that robots have to work very accurately, separately recognize things and be able to achieve different kind of tasks at a very, very accurate level. And then that poses the question of the second scientific logs from my point of view, which is the ability of robots to change their own behavior with respect to the task to be done and to the context of the task. That is to say that you have to move maybe on a pathway, on a road in order to reach fields. When you are in the field, you have to move with respect to the vegetation, to the crops. So you have to detect, to discriminate. You have also to recognize the environment and then define if you are with corn, with maize, or if it is an obstacle, or if it is a road. And so this is quite difficult to achieve in the changing and varying condition with respect to the weather, for instance. So this is for a scientific challenge. There is still an open challenge in the framework of societal challenges, such as how when the robots move by themselves autonomously in a field, how you guarantee that they keep their safety. So the first thing is how to avoid obstacle and to avoid human, to recognize human. But the second challenge is how to ensure that you won't hit any human, and how you are sure that robots are safe. And this is challenging also from a legal point of view. What are the standards and what are the requirements, what are the tests which has to be done in order to warranty the good behavior of the robot. So there is some work under development in order to change standard and permit a robot to be sailed properly. That means also a second societal challenges, which is how the robots can integrate the farm and how farmers can hold the use of robotic with a good manner. So that suppose that a farmer may supervise the work of robots remotely, because one of the interests of robots is that they can work autonomously in order to save farmer times. When people are in the field, how the robots handle and manage and change their behavior with respect to the intention of human. So it has to recognize what human wants to do in order to adapt its own behavior. And finally, how robots may integrate production systems, and how we integrate the robots in decision-making process, and how we share such resources and so on. And what Marie-Flore says before is still holding for robots, how to share such resources. And then in order to answer these questions, we believe that we have to share all these all the partner. I realize that this slide is in French, unfortunately. So there is we have to gather all the type of factors from farmers up to researchers. And we have to handle technical institutes, manufacturers, and also technical providers in order to address all the challenges, so societal challenges, technical challenges, and also scientific challenges. And thanks to FIRA and thanks to the Robagri Association, which is a part of organization, as we will see after, there is in France, in fact, a kind of strategic development, a strategic plan for development of robotics in agriculture, which with different kind of action regarding scientific locks. So there is a priority plan of research. We have on the other side for marketing some help to sell automated machines that are that participate to the ecological transition of agriculture. And in the middle, we have launched with Robagri the Great Challenge Agricultural Robotics, which came as gathering some shared infrastructure, such as the material infrastructure of robots, and also algorithms, and making some shared algorithm libraries and data sets. To go a little bit further at INRAE, because as I have said before, I'm belonging to INRAE. Our vision of robotics is that if you want to the agroecological principles, so making new itineraries, it's very difficult to do it at a big scale using only manpower, because it requires a lot of manpower for painful operation, repetitive operations. And then we believe that A robot can very accurate job because a robot does not become tired. And in order to do that, we are leading some initiatives. So I have mentioned the great challenge on robotics for agroecology, and then we have the chance to be in the scientific to lead the scientific committee of this initiative. We are developing some new infrastructure in order to test robots in different kind of conditions, and also to promote innovation using the AgroTechnopole platform. And we are also co-leader of an initiative, agroecologie et numérique, that is to say digital and agroecological plan of research together with INRIA, which is another institute in France working on computer science topics. And then our objective in that way is to permit the robots to get a step beyond in order to be able to achieve very accurate and discriminate work in order to be able to increase the capabilities of making ecological transitions by building new practices that allow to reduce, totally stop the use of chemicals in farming. And in order to do that and to face all these challenges, we believe that we can do that all together from scientific to farmers. And for us, the International Forum of Agricultural Robotics is the place in order to exchange such practices, to have some return about experiments, and also to share new ideas and to go beyond all together. And so now I let Gwendoline present you the content of the International Forum of Agricultural Robotics.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you very much. So you can see that INRAE and Roland departments is working, the work of them is crucial in the development of agrobotics in France, but worldwide, because they are collaborating with many labs, many institutes worldwide. So that's really interesting. Thank you, Roland. So let's go deeper in the topic. So let's talk about this 8th edition of World FIRA, the global event for agricultural robotics. I would like to start with a short video. So I hope it will work. Let's try. Oops. So I hope it worked. As you can see in this video, so many things are happening in the fields, on the expo zone, in the conference room, etc. So that's in between totally in-field events, and of course we will be in February in France, so we'll have some space indoor. So this 8th edition is very positioned like let's say, a small, very small CES of agricultural robotics. Why we say a little CES for agricultural robotics? It's just because you can find at World FIRA the most mature robots for agriculture, to the smallest and the first steps of the proof of concept and prototypes of robots. So all the different stages of maturity are present at World FIRA. That makes a very rich event, very specific in automation for farming and robots for farming. The place is called Agrobiopol. So it's a campus shared by 3 different let's say schools and universities. So there is the Cité des Sciences Vertes, that is a high school for young farmers. There is also the ENSAT for engineers, and the ENSFEA for the training of the teachers. So this is a full complex, a full campus, very open, that are welcoming World FIRA for the 2nd edition in the field. This is, as I mentioned, a complete event from R&D to the fields via the exhibition zone. So maybe, Roland, if you want to talk a little bit more about the scientific workshop.
Yes, thank you very much to give me back the talk. The first day, that is to say the 6th of February, we're gonna talk about science first, and the first day is devoted to a scientific workshop. It will be divided in 3 sessions of around 1.5 hours, with each time a keynote and some pitches open to submission. And the first session will be devoted to how can we take part of robots to achieve agroecological routes, that is to say, how to develop new practices thanks to robots. The second session will be devoted on how the robot can recognize the environment in order to take some decisions. So how we can discriminate several kinds of crops, the possibility to have pedestrian, human, how we make a difference between crossable area or not, and so on. And the afternoon, we're gonna have a third session about how we can integrate robots into the farm, and how we can do in order to provide new languages between human and robot in order to permit farmers to interact directly with robots. After that, we will have a discussion, because forum is a place in order to exchange ideas and to have potential opposite ideas. And then the end of the day will be devoted to a discussion in order to go further all together on the integration of agricultural robots for agroecology. That's it for me. No?
Thank you very much. And you'll come back to talk about the hackathon afterwards.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Roland. No, that's perfect. And so on the exhibition zone, we will find also the outdoor, that is under tents, okay? So we'll have 2 big tents to welcome the exhibitors with their stands, and we'll also present some exclusive contents and new formats. During the event, we'll talk about it later, and some qualified networking time with the industry leaders and users. To the fields, we will find some field demos of robots and autonomous agricultural solutions in 4 to 5 different sectors that will be represented. We'll talk about this more in detail with Marie-Flore. Just few key figures for you to know the evolution of World FIRA. So in green, these are the key figures from 2023, and in blue, the key figures for 2024. So as you can see, we will have even more autonomous solutions and robots in the field and in the static zone. We will also welcome even more people from different countries. So it's more than 50 countries in 2023. And we are expecting over 60 countries that will be represented this year. In 2023, the journalists were very, very present. There were 60. We are expecting 70 this year. Half of them were international, from Europe or even from far away. So that was very incredible to see how World FIRA is gathering all the knowledge and all the latest advances that are the announcements of the industry are made at World FIRA, and so journalists are really willing to come and meet with the manufacturers. We're also expecting more attendees and more farmers for two different reasons. The first one is that we are putting huge efforts to make more farmers to come, and just also because more and more they know that robots are arriving, robots are in the fields for some of them, and they need to know what to expect as new tool for them for their everyday challenges that they can expect, that they can co-build, co-develop with the manufacturers too. And the number of partners and exhibitors that is also increasing this year. So as we mentioned, the whole industry is visiting World FIRA. I want to point out the dealers and the distributors that are even more willing to come and to visit the trade show, because they need to understand what is the market, what are the robots on the market, what can they maybe provide to their clients as new solutions, as new tool for their clients. So dealers and distributors are coming a lot. We have the chance to collaborate with the CLIMAR, that is the European Association for Distributors, and with National Association of Distributors too, everywhere almost in Europe. So that's a big thing. And then also, of course, this event is made for robot manufacturers, farmers, and as Roland mentioned, also for the research and students. I want to highlight also the investors that are coming a lot to find the latest nuggets for them to invest and to find out how to contribute to the development of agrobotics. We have an announcement for 2024, the first International Agricultural Autonomy Symposium. What is it? It is a new format that we are setting up this year to gather all the different organizations, international organizations and work groups that are working actively at the agricultural autonomy. They are working sometimes together, sometimes they don't know each other. And we want all of them to take part to this symposium, to share their work, to share their ideas together, but also to challenge the manufacturers and to listen to the feedbacks of the end users, of the farmers. So this first International Agricultural Autonomy Symposium will be organized on the third day, on Thursday, the 8th of February, all day long, during 3 different workshops. The first one will be field use cases from farmers and manufacturers' experiences. The second workshop will be recommendations and application guidelines with the main international institutions that are working on the topic. And the third workshop will be a workshop with participatory groups that will work on different topics and share their ideas and feedbacks. This first International Symposium on Agricultural Autonomy is co-organized by AXEMA, so this is the French Syndicate for Machinery, and the Grand Défi de la Robotique Agricole, that's what we mentioned earlier, that is also organizing with Rob Agri Association, the hackathon that we'll talk about it now. So that's for you, Roland.
Thank you very much. Once again, yes, we organized this year the hackathon that already has been launched. It is in 2 parts, 2 stages. The first stage will use open source libraries and simulation tools, that is to mention Gazebo, and is based on ROS, that is Robotics Operating Systems. And it will, the first stage will aim at letting some teams using this library and adding some content in order to answer 3 challenges. The first challenge is based on the mission planning. That is to say, we ask the team to compute the best trajectory that a robot can do in agricultural field using some waypoints and defining 2 fields that has to be treated, 1 field in vineyard condition and 1 field in greenhouse conditions. The second challenge aims at given a trajectory to be achieved. When the robot goes on this trajectory, we have hide some obstacles, and the robot aims to the team has to develop an algorithm in order to find the number of obstacles which corresponds to standard obstacles and their localization in absolute position. And the third challenge has also a trajectory, a predefined trajectory, and the robot has to follow this trajectory and avoiding obstacles that are positioned on the trajectory. So the first stage use open source library provided by the project Tyrex, but I have no time to detail this project. And it's an opportunity to start working together on an open source library. And the second stage, after the qualification of the first stage, will be achieved during the FIRA, and it will be the second and third day, that is to say 7th and 8th of February. And it will use advanced simulation software, which are provided by OpenRT and 4D Virtualize. And they will also provide the huge computers that are needed in order to have much more accurate and detailed simulation areas with extended difficulties such as smog and such as rain and bad grip conditions. That's all for me, Gwendoline. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Roland. So this is the first hackathon that is launched by Grand Défi and that is launched at World FIRA. As new things that are also announced for this World FIRA 2024, the most we will give user feedbacks during the demo times, but also we'll have dedicated time to share user feedbacks and non-users that are expecting to better understand what are the main challenges to welcome robots in the farm. We also have a new format that are called the controversies. Controversies is really, we want a kind of 1 hour and a half debate between experts of agrobotics and people in the room that are just maybe adopting, having questions, suggestions, kind of debate, interactive with the audience and the panelists. The World FIRA Awards 2024, this is a renewed version. We used to have 2 different awards. Now we want 1 award, 3 categories. First category is the Agrobot of the Year. That will be the farmer's choice for the best robot currently on the market. That will be awarded by Future Farming magazine. The best startup, that is the investor's choice, the prize for the most promising startup in terms of investments, and the best World FIRA robot that will be chosen by the participants during the World FIRA. That will be from the robot exhibiting at the event, and that will be voted on an app by the participants. And finally, people will have the possibility to schedule their B2B meetings in advance with the participants, the exhibitors, and the panelists that are registered. And there will be a dedicated room to have these meetings. Very briefly, the general agenda. So we have 3 days and 3 different, let's say, topics. On the first day, on the Tuesday, February the 6th, there will be the 5th scientific symposium with the roundtables, etc., for the whole day. And at the end of this day, the controversies that we just talked about. At noon, we will open the expo and demo zone. That is new because last year we only opened on the 2nd day. This year it will be open from noon to the participants. On Wednesday, we will open, of course, all the expo and demo zones with the dedicated agenda for the demo. We'll talk about it later. Different workshops, the press tour that will be held at 10 for 1 hour. We'll go around some exhibitors' booth to have a 5-minute speech with all of them. And that's some format that is very appreciated by journalists because it helps you to have a better understanding of what you can see. If you want to go deeper to some services or products, you can go back to them. So that's a good format. And finally, on Thursday, again, the expo and the demo will be open, and the International Agricultural Autonomy Symposium for the whole day. Now let's talk about the demo more precisely with Marifa.
Yes, thank you. So the World FIRA is a unique event with demo in the field on 2 hectares. There are 4 different zones that I will present to you just in a few moments. So 3-day events, 3 days of demonstration, as Gwendoline just presented to you, will start on Tuesday afternoon and finish on the Thursday. And this year, 25 robots will be in demo. Yeah, thank you. For the second year, the World FIRA is an event 100% in the field with demonstration in real condition. So there will be different robots for different type of production as field crops, vegetables, vineyards, orchard, and market gardening. And many applications as mechanical weeding, seeding, fertilization, and lots more. So there will be 2 types of demonstration. So demo through the day on demand on the visitor, and organized demo, planned on a program, and commented by the manufacturer. Like I said, there are 4 demo zones with vine. We will put in place artificial vines. There will be 15 rows of 15 meter long. Then vegetable crops with radish and garlic. Orchard with apple trees, and field crops with triticale, rye, and faba beans. So the crop has been sown at different spaces to adapt to the specificity of the robots and the condition on the farms. So we have crops sowed with cereal seeder and crops sowed with a precision seeder with a spacing at 50 and 75 centimeters. All right, so let me give you a quick overview of new robots coming in 2024. So we have Nayo here since the beginning of the FIRA with their full autonomy presented at AGTECH. Other new robots coming, it's Urmana with their row and inter-row owing solution, which is actually beyond a tractor. So that is also something new at the FIRA. It's not only autonomous robots, it's also robotic solution that could be beyond a tractor or even autonomous tractors. So it will be robots in demo, and it will be also demo on exhibition, as for example, a new one as nature robots. So for this sector, the applications are mainly on mechanical.
Mechanical.
Mechanical, correct, yeah, mechanical, I insist. Then we have field crops. So we will have AgroIntelli with the tool carrier robotic. We will have Softy Rover. They were here last year, but next year in 2024, they will be coming with a wide range of equipment, a seeder, a hoe, and a sprayer. You will have as well Crover, a robot to analyze the grain in silos. So the World FIRA is an international event. We will have on display a robot for harvesting cotton, even if we don't have cotton in France. But anyway. And then you have vineyard. So this is the sector where there are the most robots. Mechanical weeding, on the row, mowing, spraying, pruning. There will be many applications you will be able to see in demo. So the new robots will be trucks. They were here last year, but this year they will be in demo. You will have PEC For example, they are actually bringing 3 robots in for vineyard and orchard. And what is interesting about this manufacturer is the range of equipment that you can input to the robots. New, it's also Yanma for spraying or robotic perception, a robotic arm, like actually an operator. And then you have an orchard area. So as I just mentioned just before, you have PEC, who will present actually an apple harvester. And Léger Innovation, another example for mechanical deseeding. But there are many other examples, like Osiris for the irrigation, that you will be able to see on display. So I will not present today all of them, but come and discover them in February.
Thank you, Marie-Fleur. So now let's talk a little bit about the map of the event for you to understand. For the ones who came last year, you will understand the map, and for the other ones, you will have a view and understanding on how we set up the trade show. So here in red, if you can see my cursor, you can see the red area that will welcome the scientific workshop for 1 day here. Then the first day, as I mentioned, in the afternoon, we will open the demo zone and exhibition area. So here, the first little square here in yellow and the second here are the 2 big tents that will welcome the exhibition zone. In the middle here, you will have the cover demo area with some different type of crops. There will be demo anyways, but if it's bad weather, if it's raining, we will have a plan B, the possibility to welcome demos also on this cover area. And those areas are, outdoor demo zones with here and here the vegetables, in the middle the vineyards, and here, the large rectangle here will be the cereals field crops. Also, a nice view on the orchards. That is a very big area too for the demos. Here in the middle, where you can see the orange square, you will find everything that is indoor, meaning the catering and the conferences and workshops that will be held in this area. And it's also here where you will arrive, that will be your welcome desk. Here is the overview of the partners and exhibitors so far that we really want to thank, and also for you to have a view at all the partners and exhibitors. There is a link in the bottom here with all the partners and exhibitors that you can follow. I want to thank big thank you to the main exhibitors and the main sponsors, I would say. First of all, AgroboFood, the European project that is main aim to facilitate the adoption of robotics. Also, the Netherlands pavilion that will welcome a bunch of startups. The robot manufacturers, Nayo Technologies, AgroIntelli, and Tech Automotive. And SICK, the supplier of sensors and automation solutions. Even if you don't know maybe the area, I want to welcome, the local support that we have in the region, so Sicoval and the Occitania region, the Agrobiopo, the campus where we will be at World FIRA, and also, of course, the CUMA with Marie-Fleur, Rob Agri Association, and the great challenge of the agricultural robotics, and of course in RAI with the support of the World events. So as you can see, and that's only for you to know, the registrations are open. For you journalists, it's all free. You can get your accreditation online. And then there is a regular rate for the 3-day or 1-day pass. All the information are available at worldfira.com. I will send you all this press kits, the press release, the replay, and some pictures, I think right after this conference. Here are some contacts if you need. And well, I think we are all good with the presentation. So thank you very much for attending. And we have time. We have a lot of time even for the questions. So if there is any question, you can open your mic, open your cam, and we'll be happy to answer. Or on the chat if you're shy. Is there any? I have not the chat open.
No question apparently on the chat.
Was it so clear? Okay. Well, if there is any question afterwards, of course, we remain at your disposal. You should have my contact at least. If you want to reach Marie-Fleur, Roland, or any other person from the organization or from, you know, the manufacturers, please feel free to send me an email or to give me a call, and I will be happy to put you in touch.
We have a question in the chat. Will a virtual attendance be possible?
No, no virtual. Everything will be present. The thing is, we will have some replays, of course, of few sessions, but you know, I mean, and the most important thing, well, we'd say the thing that you cannot really have virtually is the demo. Marie-Fleur, you agree with that? You have to come to see the demo. That's one thing. There is something that will be, of course, on replays, all the conferences and workshops from the scientific workshop. Everything will be in replay afterwards. So that's one thing, but nothing will be, let's say, remotely and live played. Okay. Is there any other question? Well, if not, again, please feel free to contact us, and we'll send you all the materials in, let's say, within 1 hour, hopefully. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and hopefully we'll meet in February in Toulouse at FIRA.
Bye.